Good evening, everyone. So I will share a slide deck. I hope you can hear me clearly. Yeah, wait a second. So I'm Shamir. I'm conducting today's session, Introduction to Python. There are a lot of series that we are doing online on other technologies like also as like React Native, Python, C Sharp, also like Node.js kind of sessions. So today we are only focusing on the Python and it's an introduction. Main idea of this session is to give a briefing and introduce into Python. If you have not written any code before, I mean, that's fine. This is like if you know English, you can write Python code. There's no like rocket science in basically getting into Python. So there I have sent a mail, I think yesterday morning. I hope you all have installed these two softwares. That is, you have to install Python latest version in this going to this site, and you can download. And then the other one is install the PyCharm is the code editor. So you need to have an editor to write the code. So there, PyCharm is a good editor for writing Python code. So I have given this, and I assume you all have downloaded that. Basically, this is the site, and this is basically the PyCharm download. If you have not done while listening to this site, please download and be ready. Yeah. Okay. Let's move to the session. So when you have downloaded, you will see this kind of a site, a PyCharm. I will show you how to create a project and create a folder so that you can create your own file. Yeah. Okay. So while you are installing this, I will basically give an introduction about what is Python. Python is a programming language, and also it's called a scripting language. So there are so scripting language and programming language. Programming language is basically you write a code to build an application. Scripting language is you can write a code, write a script so that you can move the developed application somewhere. As example, is in my machine, some application. I can write a script so that I can move this folder from my machine to some other server in somewhere. That's called scripting. And this was invented in Netherlands, early 90s, and open source from the beginning. And if you take salary wise, I mean, Python is one of the popular languages, and again, very highly paid entry level, programming language. But in for like US and foreign countries, you normally get an entry pay like 10,000 USD. So that's where currently it's like most popular. And again, you never know with the ICT industry. But for me, I think next 3 to 5 years, Python will play a bigger role. Yeah. So let's move into some coding. And again, I have a course in Oxford College on the detail about Python. So that we are basically in that course, we are going to go more detail. Today is kind of basic thing that we're going to do. So they are with all the hello world and all the programming concepts, we will create a kind of app like a calculator like this, what you see. And then also here, as you can see, there's a like a Python can be used to uh, remove the background. As you can see, the background is there, so we can remove that part from image processing side. We are going to do, and again, if you see this image, it can be come up with a sketching. Do a sketch on that. And there also we are going to do how to train a model and use that information for prediction for a data set, and also face recognition in a live application those are being covered. Hands-on practical coding will happen in this course. Yeah, just the information. If you are interested, you can enroll. We are starting next week. Yeah, so here, I mean, now we are basically getting into more like a coding session. If you have downloaded your application, you can open PyCharm, and then you can create your project here. And then if you go here, right, so if you open PyCharm, you can go to project like Hello World, create a project. And then if you right click here, you can create a file. If you click here, you can give a name here like APP. So create a PyCharm Python file as app APP, simple P, like I have created here. So example, yeah, this is basically the app that you can see here, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to go here when you're you can go here, go to a new project and create a project, and you can give a name here as Python project or Hello World project. I have created a project called Hello World here, right? And then after that, you have to right click here, and then you can create your own Python program here. And click Python, you give APP simple, and then you will end up with app.py Python. So extension Python comes as .py file, right? I hope you have got this thing. So we'll go to the first, coding thing. So it's about creating your own, hello world. So basically, to print something in the screen, there's a command called print. So likewise, you can print with bracket, double quotes. If you print this and if you run this here, you can go to here and select your program, or you can right click here and run app. If I do that, you can see here, you can see hello world. That's basically from this, it's as printed in your screen as hello world. So this hello world there are 4 types, like 5 types in Python data types. One is like a string. Now basically hello world is a string. If I take my name Shamira, it's a string. As you also can see, there is like also there are integers like 20. Age is an integer. If we have a price for a some kind of item, that will goes as a float, a decimal number. And then there are other type called Boolean. It's like true false kind of a statement. So you need to know all these 4 types to do or basically write a code. So I'll type and put some variables and show you. As example, if say age equals 40, right? And then we'll put price equals 23.65. Yeah. Then we can also do like a Boolean is online equals this needs Python is case sensitive, so you have to basically write if you type only true, simple true, it will not work. So you have to type the capital true. So now you can print. As example, you write this and age, close brackets. Then again you can print price, close bracket. You can print is online and close bracket. And then you have to run this one and let's see what will happen. So can you see hello world came from this print, and then 40 came from this line 40, and 23 price is listed here, and then true. If you actually change this to false, and if you run, this will change, as you can see, the false. Likewise, there are like three, and again types here. Sorry, four types: string, hello world kind of thing, and then age is an integer, and this one is a decimal float, and again a boolean, false or true. Yeah. So this is basically the intro to something that you type and write in a code, and it will come in your terminal when you run the program. Yeah. So there's an exercise I want to give while you are doing. I want you guys to write a code with this what I showed now. Write your code in PyCharm. Basically, it's a hospital system. And then the check-in patient's name is Bill Gates. So write your name, and you have to type this name in your screen, like this what I have done. And his age is 20 years old. So I want basically the name and age to be print in the screen. So write a small code and share in your chat window so that I can check and tell that is right or wrong. So you can do that as well. Again, there are ways that we can get input from the user. Now here you can't enter anything, right? You only like a screen comes with this data. So you have to, now we want to enter something from the screen so that I can print something back. So if you erase this, that's actually goes as like equal name. I want to get name input. It's called input. And then we can double quotes. We can ask, what is your name? And then question mark, right? Now let's see whether shall we run this and see what will happen. So there it asks. Now I'm going to put, like, my name is Shamir. But again, nothing happens because we are not printing that thing, right? Now, if I print this name, now basically I'm getting that input variable called name. And then I'm printing that name here. So let's say how run this, what will happen? Yeah, so we'll say Shamira, and there, then what happened? You got the input and you print that input back again to the screen, like Shamira here. Likewise, you can get an input from a screen, and then you can basically with the print command, you can print that back. That's basically a simple thing, but you need to know, because if you want to have interaction with the app, you need to have this, input function, because then from that, you can get inputs from the screen, from the user, and then do whatever the operation after that. Again, next, thing is type conversion, because there are, so as you know, there are four types I explained: like string, integer, float, and boolean. So now I want to basically uh, change the whatever the integer into a string, string into a integer kind of thing, right? So let's do a small exercise. How we are going to, there are commands, as you can see in the screen, that you will convert int bracket, it will actually convert into a integer. If you float bracket, it will convert into a float. A bool will convert into a boolean, and str means you convert a number into a string. So let's write a code to check this, right? Okay. I'm going to get a birth year of the individual into a variable called birth year equals input. Enter your birth year. Where you, and then basically now I have taken the birth year. If you go here. So now if I take the birth year, let's assume, let's do this. I will run this and see. Now if I type my birth year, like 1980. So what will happen is this birth year 1980 you think is an integer, but this will basically input a string, not an integer, because this input variable, the function will take a string into the system, right? So if I only take this, if I do like this, right? Let's say I want to check my age. So age equals 2023 is the current age. And then I'm going to minus birth year. Let's see whether we can run this. This is a clear error. You can't run this, it will be an error. If I take 1980, yeah, it gives, right? Because this is a string and you're trying to minus a string from an integer. Basically, we have a number. Now you are trying to minus this from a string. So that is wrong. So now what? This whatever this 1980, we need to, it's a string. We have to convert to integer. So what is the command for that? Command is integer. As I said earlier, put integer, and then you bring birth here there and close bracket. And then if you can print basically age. Now if I run this, you can see it comes from, then I put my age there. It's at 43. So it basically what happened was we are taking a string here as input, the 1980. Then the age we are calculating 2023, and then you are converting this 1980 to an integer, and then minus that from 2023, and that's basically becomes the age, and then you print age. That's how it became here. Yeah. So that basically you can do for, you can convert to an integer, float, boolean, string. So you can try these things at home and convert, string to a. So I will actually use this while we are continuing on the other session. Yeah. So another exercise. I want to build a calculator that input the first number as 10.1 and the second number as 20, and then I want to basically sum it up and get the sum of those two numbers as 30.1. So you have to write a code to get this answer. So I'll give 3 minutes for you all. So write this. Basically input the first number, input the second number, and then sum it. Sum and show that number in the screen. So I'll give 2 minutes to do this. Yeah. Okay, you can start now. And you can give the answer, you can type the answer in the chat so the others also can see. while you also doing, I will also type the the answer that I think it will work. First number. So there. So this is basically the code for that exercise. You can see right here. You can see the code, right? You take first number and you take as input first. Spelling mistake here. Yeah, first number, and then you take as the first number here, and then second number you take the input from the screen again. And then sum, you basically create a sum variable, and then you add these two numbers. So there we am converting this string number that you are getting from the input to a float here. Not earlier I actually convert that into integer. Here I'm converting into a float. And then I basically convert the second number is also into a float, and then when you add these two together, and I basically assign that to sum. Then this sum is what? This sum is a float. Now to print it, you can't print a float here. You have to again convert that whatever the float number into what? To a string. That's what I'm doing here again. Here it's a float. Now I need to convert this into a string and then print. If I don't do that, let's erase this and just try to only to print sum. See what will happen. 10.1, 20. But actually that also worked. Yeah, because I think this is automatically convert into a string here. You don't have to convert it, but if you convert it, you will not have any issues here. Like str, you convert back print str, and then you get the sum, and you double quotes here. Yeah. Okay. So first number 10.1, 20, then you get the 30.1. So basically, this is the answer. I will share this answer later. This is the code that you need to write to do this exercise. Yeah. So we'll go to the next session. Next subsession is the strings. How to handle string in your code base. So there are many things you can do with the string. String is the string type. Try to print a string. So again, course equals single quote Python for beginners. So that's basically my my string. Okay. Then we can print that string. What is that? Course. And let's run this and see what will happen. So there you get your answer here, right? Simple. And then you can convert this to uppercase. You can convert this course to uppercase. So it's like this. Print here course dot. You can see there are a lot of things coming. So you put uppercase. Select uppercase and then you close the bracket. And if you type, let's see what happened to this. So can you see the normal string is Python for beginners. Now I have converted that string into a capital letter, uppercase. So also you can, let's say we put here as like kind of a capital P, and then we'll convert this to a lowercase. Lower. And then again this P is capital, right? Now if you do this, so everything will convert to a lowercase. Likewise, you can find a letter inside and it will give the basically the number of that letter we can find. For example, again, post dot find, and then you give what is the letter that you want to find in that string. You want to find 4. Okay. Now we want to find 4 inside this string. Python for beginners, right? Let's see what will happen if you. So it's like print. Course is the basic, the variable, and then you're finding 4 inside this string. It comes 7th. You know, the letter basically comes as 7. So likewise, you can also replace a string with some other name, right? So again, we type print course replace, again bracket, and you have to give the code what you want. 4 you are going to replace, comma, with 4, and then you close bracket here, and there's another bracket here to close. So basically what you are doing is you are replacing 4 with number 4. So there you can see Python for beginners. So that means 4 has replaced with 4, number 4. So likewise, there are some, nice cool stuff you can do using this thing. So there are like kind of basically convert into uppercase, capital letters, simple lower by simple letters, and then you can find some kind of word in a string, and also you can replace a string with something that you want to replace. Yeah. Yes, a question. Which Python thing should be open? So basically, there are 2 questions. Which Python thing we should open? You need to install, open PyCharm that we have installed later. That is your editor. You have to write your code in PyCharm. So the other one, it doesn't work the calculator. That I'm not sure the question. So I can actually go back to the calculator sum that we did, and then again explain it again. If it's not clear. So basically, this is the code. You can see right here. I will increase the size. You take a variable and input as first number, then second and second number. Then basically you define the variable called sum. And since this is like we are converting 10.1 is a float, right? It's not an integer. So that we convert the first number, what you get as a string, as an input, to a float. And then here the second number 20 will also convert to a float. So then we will add this 10.1 and 20 together, and the sum will be print here, called 30.1. So that's basically the code. If you write and run this in your PyCharm, you will get that answer. Yeah, well, let's go back again to the thing what we are basically. Okay. Strings now we have done. Now we can go to the arithmetic operators. So there are operators that we have now. If you take 10 plus 3, that we can print 10 plus 3. And what will happen 10 plus 3 is what normal. But again, these things are basic, but you need to know. As example, let's say print 10 plus 3. And if you print, you'll have 13, right? That's the answer. So if they print 10 divided by 3, what's the answer? So it's like 3.3 point the thing, right? And then if you do double thing, 10, 3, it gives basically the 3, the actual, normal answer. Then again, if you print 10 divided by 3, you get basically the remainder. That means 1, right? Because 3 into 3 is 9, and there's a 1 remainder. So if you, again, there's another arithmetic operation, multiplication, and into 3, that gives 10 into 3, like 30. 10, so this is our print. And then if you do 10, 2 asterisks and 3, 1000 is answer. That means the 3 to the power 10. That means 10 multiplied by 3 multiplied by, 10 and multiplied by 10. 10 into 10 and into 10. That means it will end up with 1000, right? So that's how you basically do the arithmetic operation. And then you can also add items. As example, now let's take, we'll assign x as 10, and then x equals x plus 3. Now we are assigning a variable x and then assigning that to 10, and then we are going to again this x will add 3 and assign to the same variable. Let's see when we run what will happen. Oh, sorry, we have to print this, right? Print x. Yeah, so it's 13, right? Now 10 plus 3, 13. You can write the same thing using this command also. Plus equals 3. Let's see what is the answer. So again, the same thing what I wrote earlier can be written in here. The earlier one was what I said was x equals x plus 3. The same thing you can write in this fashion. X plus equals 3. Same thing. The answer is 13. X plus x equals x plus 3 is what we have written in a shorter form. Yeah, so those are like the arithmetic operations you can do. As new things would be obviously these are like easier. So if we have the two slashes here, then you get the actual the without the remainder. Here the remainder will come. That's also arithmetic operator that we have in Python. Multiplication is the same and nothing new here. But again, if we have 2 multiplication, that is the power 3 we are talking about here. If we have 4, power 4, like this, right? So those are like arithmetic operations that you have, yeah. Okay. So here, so operator precedence. I mean, they are basically now if you take this example, x equals 10 plus 3 into 6. So normally that will happen is it will do the 3 into 6, 2. That means 6. 6 plus is 16, right? But also you can do this. You can put brackets there and take this like 10 plus 3 is first thing, and then you can multiply by 2. That means 13 into 2 is 26. So let's type this and also and see how Python code is working in this way. Yeah. So to print is 16, right? Because why? 3 into 2 is 6, and then it add to 10, it will be 16. So if you take y here equals to another variable, then you put a bracket 10 plus 3 multiply by 2, and then you print that as well. Right? So let's see how it works. So you can see the two answers, right? Because now earlier it was 3 multiplied by 2, 16, 6, and then add to 10, that will be 16. Here, basically 10 plus 3 is 13, and 13 multiplied by 2, and we are printing it at 26, right? So that's again something that you need to know in your. So next one is comparison operator. So how to do a comparison in your coding, right? So let's erase this again. So x equals the boolean. Now we are going to do greater than 2. So is this a true command or a false command? Basically, this is a true, right? 3 is bigger than 2. So if you print text, it will gives as true. So let's print and see. So that's true, right? You can see. So if we put this the other way, that means 2 greater than 3. That is a false command. So let's run and see. So you get false, right? So likewise, this is a boolean. You can print the answer. So there are commands like, as you can see there, y equals 3 equal to. Let's print y. It's checking whether this is equal. If we put 3 here, it's true, right? Because 3 equals 3. If you put 2, it's not equal. 3 is not equal to 2. It's false. And then another one command called, so we'll take another variable called a. 3 is not equal. You write not equal like this sign, not equal to 2. And then you print a. So 3 is not equal to 2. 3 is not equal to 2 is a true statement, right? So if we put 3 not equal to 3, and see this command print a should be false. Yeah, can you see? It became false right here. Because why 3 is equal to 3? It's not. What we are saying is 3 is not equal to 3. It's a false statement. But if you put 2 here, 3 is not equal to 2 is a true statement. Likewise, there are operators like this: greater than or equal, less than or equal, and not equal. So those are the comparison operators that we have in Python. Yeah. So there are logical operators. This will come in normally while loops, for loops, the conditions, right? So again, so if you have and as an command, basically the both operators needs to pass. Both needs to basically pass, then it will become true. If one is true and other one is false, then the result is false. Or means if you have or command, then at least one, if it's true, it will give the true as the answer, even the other one is not true. Yeah. So we'll also try to write some code to understand this. So price equals 25. So we'll print price greater than 10. And we put another condition, price greater than 30. So here what we are saying is price is here 25. Now I'm saying is 25 is greater than 10. Is that true or false? It's true, right? And then again, price 25 is less than 30. That is also true, right? If I now print this, it will needs to give true. And there's an and. So let's say I'm going to change this now, right? I'm going to put a kind of a different, now not 30. I'm going to put like 20. So then this one is 25 greater than 10, and this one price 25. I'm saying less than 20. That is false. So there one statement is false, even though this one is true. Because you have an and, your answer will be a false. If I put or here, if I put or here, your answer will be true. Why? Because your price is less than 10. So, but again, 25 is not less than 10. No, that means this part is false. But 25 is greater than 10. That is, this part is true. So when we have a or, since this part is true, the entire statement will be true. Because in or, you have only at least one condition needs to be true, then the entire statement will be true. But if you put an and here, both statements needs to be true. If not, if there's one false, the answer would be false. And there's another one, you can put the not and inverse this, like what we have done here. So we'll put like print not price greater than 10. So that means the price is greater than 10. No? 25 is greater than 10. It's a bigger number, right? 25, that is true. Now I'm saying is I'm basically inversing it. Now this true statement I'm going to convert into false. So let's see what will happen if I type this. So you can see, right? This one is true, but since I'm putting not, it will inverse the other way and it will become false. These are the three, logical operators that you can find in Python or even any other programming language. Yeah. So another important statement called if statement. So you check a condition whether it's a false or true. If it's true, it will go to a code underneath, and then you can print something like this, right? So let's erase this. So you define a variable called temperature. And we put it to temperature as true, right? If temperature is greater than 30. So this is in temperature 30. So we'll take this as 32. We'll put as 32. Yeah. And 30, that means then we have to put a colon here. So that's how you write it. If statement, then your condition and the colon. Then you go here, you can print it is a hot day. Let's see whether we run this, what will happen. It's a hot day, right? Because why? Temperature is 32, your temperature. And if it's 30 and above, it's a very hot day, right? Now, we can write this as like, else, if there's the statement, if is down we are saying is temperature is greater than. If it is not greater than, you go to another condition. Call again the temperature. If it is greater than 20, and again colon here, you print it is a nice day. So now it's hot day. Now let's assume we are going to put this to 28. 28 is a nice day. So what will happen here? Temperature is 28. We check the temperature 28 is greater than 30. Is it 30? No, no, it's a false statement. So that it will not go inside here. It will go to the other statement else. And if you are checking another condition, so now 28 is greater than 20. Actually, that's true, right? Then we'll go to this, we'll run this print command. It's a nice thing. That's why we came up here. So you can also write another one, elif temperature is greater than 10, colon, it is, colon, it is a bit cool day. Yeah. So now if I type like here, like 16, it's about 16 is a cold day. Why? Because again, to go through 16 is not greater than 30. That means it will not go inside here. Then there's another condition you check else if temperature 16 is not greater than 20, that will also will not go inside this code part. Else if temperature is greater than 10, so 16 is greater than 10, right? Yes, that's true. Then you'll go inside that and print this. If not, if you don't have any other condition to check, you call else and colon, and then you print. It is cold. So that means we'll put like 5, temperature is 5. So it is cold because why? 5 is not greater than false. Again, 5 is not greater than 20, false. 5 is not greater than 10, false. Else. If you don't have anything else, then go to else part and then why? So 5 is basically, and this else means you don't have a condition. You come back to this, else part and you type this one, print here. So this is basically a normal if statement. So any program will have many statements to check conditions in your application according to business requirements you have. Yeah. So again, another exercise that I can give, but again today I'm not going to give this, but I will share this slide deck with all the participants so that you can do it in your free time and also can share it when you have the answers, right? Yeah. So the other one is the while loop I want to do. So it's like something that we can do something continuously to satisfy a condition. That is called the while. Until that condition not satisfied, the thing will go in a loop and print one by one, like that, right? So let's erase this again and see how can we do a while loop. So we'll define a variable called I and equals that to 1. Then while loop is you type while the I is the variable that you're going to check whether it equals to 5, and then you put a colon. Then you print basically the I that you have defined, and then I equals I plus 1. So always you increase by 1. So let's see if I run this, what will happen. So can you see? So I is earlier is 1. So it's 1 is less than 5, right? That is true. That means you go inside, then you print the number. That means 1. And then you will increase that 1 from another 1 number. That means now the new I is what? I is 2 now. Then again you go to the loop. I is 2 and then it's less than 5. That's true. Again you come and print what? Your 2 I here. That means you now it's not 1 because you have increased 1, So it's 2. So likewise, you can print something like this. So if I do another, like a kind of a cool thing, equals 1, while I is greater than 10, colon, you can print I and you can multiply by a string. You can do this also string. That's what we are trying to, So here equals I plus 1. If I type this, if I print this, you can see, right? It's basically typing like a 1 asterisk first time, and then you print that x, right? Because this number is 1 multiplied by this x. So only 1 star will be there. Then your number become 2. So here there are 2 stars because number is 2 multiplied by now 2 asterisks. That means 2 stars. Again, it will come like that, right? 2, 3, like that until it satisfies number 10 here. Yeah. So that's basically the while loop. So there are also another thing called list, that you can list names in a kind of a list. So if I go here, name equals, we can define a list called name, and then you do like square bracket, then you can type names like Shamira, then comma, you can say Kevan, then Avin. So then you close this bracket, right? So we have 3 names inside my name list. So now I'm going to call the 0. It starts with 0. The index is normally start in computer, not 1, it's 0. So basically, let's say that, sorry, we can print name like 0. If I print this, so it only shows the Shamir because the 0 index is Shamir. If we increase this 1, it will print Kevan. If you type this 2 here, it will print Avi. Yeah. So that's basically, and then you can replace this call name 0. Now I'm going to replace Shamir by call Shamira. So I'm going to replace this SHMIR Shamira with this one. So if I print this, print name, sorry. You can see now my new name. Earlier this was Shamira. Now I have changed because I have changed override the Shamira from Samira, and then when you print it, it will become Samira. So this is basically a basic list that you can use in your coding. So basically these are the main syntax that go through. Since we don't have time, there are a few things that I'm not going to cover today, but only the for loop is the only thing that not going to be covered, but all the others I have done from, if I if you want to go beyond this, you can work out these slides, what I'm going to share, write out. Any questions, you can buzz me, can send a mail, I can help you out. So main idea is create a project. Again, you can create any project and create a file, Python file. You can write a code. So like the intro, basically hello world, that we have. There are four types here, and then I have given exercise, write out. Receiving input from the screen, then type conversions, float into float, integer, string, bool. And then I have given exercise to do a calculator. That's also I have given the answer here. So there are string. You can do many things with. You can convert to uppercase, lowercase. You can find. You can replace. And there are arithmetic operations that you have in Python. And then another one is the operator, that how you define or basically do the operations in arithmetic according to the priority you want. So the other one is comparison operator, and this comes with a Boolean, true or false. And then logical operators that you need, and then or, and also not as the invert. So and basically you need to have both needs to be true to become the answer needs to true, or if one is true, the answer will be true. And in not basically not command will inverse the whatever the result we have. If you have a true, if you put not, then it will be on false. If it's false, if you put with not, it will be true. Then if statement with a condition, you can if that condition pass, you can do something under that. As example, if temperature is 30, you can into write to do anything under this if statement. Then again, likewise, you can check the other condition. So then the other one is the while loop. You can do something until that condition is false. You can type something, do something, calculate something, do any arithmetic operation. As example, now I am only printed here, but you can do many things under this while loop. And then you can define a list like this kind of array, and then you can call and get the names by the index. The list is starting from 0 index. Yeah, so basically this is what I'm going to cover today, and it's a kind of introduction. The main idea is, if you're new to this, just download PyCharm and download Python, and then these commands, write it down. So if you want to get into more like a detail level course and try to do a UI like this, what you see here, kind of a calculator. If you want to do some image processing like this, you can remove background. If you want to do a sketch like this, there are some image level that you can do many wonders, cool stuff in with Python. And also if you go to next level, you can do a face recognition using like deep face kind of libraries that we have available in Python. And also you can work with a data set to predict the data. That basically, if you go here, so you can basically create kind of a data object like this, and then you can predict. So I have actually done a small data set, and then you can predict. So that's also will be part of this this course. If you want to get into that kind of data analytics and all, so that this will cover that part as well. Okay, so I'll get no new line at the end of file. So what did you do? Yeah, so I'm not sure about which the code line. If you can send me the code line, what you have written in that, I can basically help you out. What actually went wrong with that with your coding. I hope you have installed the right, the Python version, the latest version, and the PyCharm. Send me the code base that I can check and get back to you. So basically, thank you for joining. If there anything, I'll send this slide deck to you all so that we can try it out. If you have missed that this session, if you're not installed, you can install the the Python and the PyCharm version, and then you can try it out. So again, thank you all. Good night.